Why Russell Brand thinks Keir Starmer is failing us all. In an unprecedented turn of events, Russell Brand, the outspoken comedian turned activist, has thrust the leadership of Keir Starmer into the spotlight, accusing him of a monumental betrayal of the Labour Party's core values. Brand's assertion is not just a critique, it's a clarion call to the British public, warning that Starmer's failures could have profound implications for the nation's political landscape. As the country grapples with the fallout from Brexit and the ongoing struggles of a post-pandemic society, the stakes have never been higher. Starmer, once heralded as a powerful figure capable of revitalizing Labour, now faces accusations of abandoning the very principles that galvanized the party's base. Critics argue that his leadership has been marked by a troubling trend of centrist caution, a stark contrast to the bold, transformative vision that many voters yearn for. This perceived retreat from progressive policies has left many feeling disillusioned and betrayed. As Brand articulates, in a time when the country stands at a crossroads, the British people will not forgive those who fail to take a stand. The urgency of Brand's message is underscored by the backdrop of recent political turmoil. The fallout from Brexit, which many consider a once-in-a-generation democratic upheaval, has left the nation divided and searching for leadership. Starmer's failure to present a compelling alternative to the government's current trajectory raises serious questions about his commitment to the working class and the party's traditional values. In a time of crisis, voters expect their leaders to act decisively, yet Starmer's cautious approach has led to accusations of political timidity. Many fear that Starmer's reluctance to embrace bold reforms could have dire consequences for Labour's future. As Brand points out, the party risks becoming irrelevant if it fails to engage with the pressing issues of our time, including climate change, economic inequality, and social justice. The historical echoes of the party's past struggles loom large, reminding us that without a clear and courageous vision, Labour could spiral into obscurity, much like it did during the disarray of the early 2010s. Analysts warn that the current political climate is ripe for a populist backlash. If Labour fails to galvanize its base, it could pave the way for further entrenchment of right-wing ideologies, much to the detriment of the very fabric of British society. The recent local elections serve as a stark reminder of this potential outcome. Labour's lackluster performance has only intensified calls for a more vigorous and vocal opposition to the ruling Conservative government, which many view as increasingly authoritarian. The struggle for the soul of the Labour Party is not just an internal affair, it is a reflection of the broader ideological battle facing the nation. Brand's criticisms of Starmer resonate with a growing movement of disillusioned voters who feel alienated by the political elite. This could mark a new era of influence, Brand asserts, where grassroots movements reclaim the narrative from those who would prefer to maintain the status quo. Public figures and commentators have rallied around Brand's call to action, echoing his sentiments that the time for complacency has passed. As the country faces a myriad of challenges, from the ongoing cost of living crisis to the urgent need for climate action, the expectation is clear: Labour must rise to the occasion or risk being left behind. Critics argue that Starmer's failure to connect with the electorate could lead to a significant shift in political allegiances, with many former Labour supporters looking elsewhere for representation. The implications of Starmer's leadership style extend beyond party lines, they threaten to reshape the very landscape of British politics. The stakes have never been higher, and the call for a revival of Labour's progressive spirit is more urgent than ever. As Brand provocatively suggests, the British public is ready for a fight, and they demand leaders who are willing to stand up for their principles. As we stand at this critical juncture, it is imperative for voters to engage with the political discourse actively. The power to influence change lies not just in the hands of politicians but in the collective will of the people. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and make your voice heard. The time has come for a new chapter in British politics, one that champions boldness, integrity, and a renewed commitment to the values that truly matter. Like, subscribe, and be part of this growing movement for change. Together, we can reclaim the narrative and shape a future that reflects our shared hopes and aspirations.